Caught by surprise, the companions are captured by the Draconians, during which Raistlin, being a magic user, is hit with a poison dart to ensure that he can't use any spells while they're locked up. The only ones to escape this are Flint and Tasselhoff, and that was mostly due to Tass's quick thinking of shoving them into the water to avoid detection, during which Flint's helm and axe are lost. But undetected by the Draconians, the pair are free to scout the camp where their friends are being held prisoner, and discover the impossible: a dragon. In the cage, Raistlin is slipping away with no means to help him, the Draconians having taken away the staff that they've long been seeking, of course. Notably, they can't pick it up. They have to wrap it in something in order to be able to carry it. Any other attempt seems to burn them or something. Outraged by their mocking laughter that his brother is going to die, Kierman can't contain himself any longer, breaks free, and begins to attack the Draconians. Though unarmed and outnumbered, he obviously has no chance. The dragon then speaks up, commanding that they bring the warrior to it. The defiant Kierman demands that if he is to die, it should be with a sword in his hand, and the amused dragon believes that it will make good sport and grants that request. The Draconians are unaware of the truth that Flint whispers to the other captives about the dragon, that it's not actually a dragon, it's a fake. It's a construct made to keep the Draconians in line. Right now, Tass is inside of it. He's operating the wings and using a speaking tube to issue commands. So the others join in the deception that they too want to die in battle, which soon turns against the Draconians. It turns out that the Draconians themselves are divided. There are two distinct races here, and they're so alien to each other that they have to communicate through the common tongue, meaning there are no secrets between the Draconians during the fight. The heroes can understand everything they say to each other. During the fight, the dragon catches fire and Tass can't escape. As mentioned, the relationship between the dwarf and the Kender may seem like antagonism, but we see how truly Flint cares about him when he refuses to be held back from the inferno, wailing as he tries desperately to save his trapped friend. He is at serious risk of dying himself in the process from the smoke alone, never mind from the heat and the flames, but Flint will not relent in his attempt to save Tasselhoff. Finally, the others realize that Tass is in the head of the dragon, which hasn't yet begun burning, and though he is stuck, they're able to finally chop it free and haul him away, and eventually they hack it to pieces to free him. Of course, with Tasselhoff now safe and sound, Flint is calmed down, and it's back to the old stern exterior. Also of note is how, despite risking virtually certain grisly death via dragon, that Raistlin seems quite dismissive of his brother when Kierman tries to help the recovering mage. This has been part of their ongoing relationship. Kierman taking care of Raistlin is an expected part of that relationship. But sometimes it seems that Kierman's really bothered that this is being taken for granted. There's also a hint that there is another, deeper rift between the two of them. We also see that Riverwind has completed his own character development along the way. He soon confesses to Tanis that his people have a deep mistrust for the elves, but Tanis' actions have convinced them that they're wrong, and he even confesses that he considers Tanis to be his friend. That's a huge deal. To their tribe, a friend is not merely an acquaintance that you get along with. A friend is someone you are prepared to sacrifice everything, including your own life, to protect, to show how far they have come together. Yet it seemed this would not be for long. They reach an obelisk announcing their arrival at Zaxaroth, ironically talking about the favor of the gods on this place that was actually hit hard by the cataclysm. And out of the ground emerges a true dragon this time. During its onslaught, it terribly, horribly burns Riverwind, to the point that the others are horrified when it's pointed out that despite how much he is melted and incinerated, somehow Riverwind is still alive. At Tanis' prompting, Stern is prepared to give him a mercy killing, when Goldmoon asks that he be brought to her instead. And of all people, Raistlin insists that they obey, stating surprisingly that it is up to the gods whether or not Riverwind dies, not them. The companions believe that even the staff can't hope to save Riverwind in this horrific state, but Raistlin's comment hints that they're wrong about that. After all, remember, the staff is not a magical item, it's a divine one. Inside the temple, Gold Moon receives a visit from the spirit of her mother, where the young woman laments the price that has been paid for the love that she and Riverwind have. But at the sight of a statue clearly meant to be holding something, she inserts the staff and learns of the goddess that her mother serves. It's now that we are told explicitly what is happening, that the Queen of Darkness is coming to attain physical form, that a great war between good and evil is rapidly approaching, and that the dragons, once banished, are returning. And so, to help, they will be granted the greatest gift that the goddess Mishika can bestow, the discs of Mishika, located deep within the temple, and the staff will also aid her. The companions bring the wrapped body of Riverwind, although only Raistlin is willing to open the wrappings to reveal his charred form. And while the others are horrified at the callousness, Gold Moon places the staff on his body, and after a glow from the staff and statue, Riverwind is fully healed. This is an amazing development because, as established, Riverwind had just completed a character arc, and so it would have seemed like a natural point for his character to depart the story, now that he has finally reached the completion of that. The fact that he is then brought back is something of a surprise for the reader. The others are unsure about this, but as two of the three non-humans present, Flint and Tanis, discuss the fact that their culture has not lost the old gods, unlike the humans, Tanis takes the opportunity to point out that dwarves and elves are no better than the humans. They gave up on worship and instead referred to their gods only the way one refers to the dead. This would set an important point about the elven culture, as elven superiority is particularly buttressed by the belief that the humans alone were to blame for the cataclysm. Instead, Tanis shows that the gods were not being displaced by new gods, but by the view of the gods as something lost. After all, how can one claim to be faithful when one has lost all faith? Despite their cynicism, we see that Gold Moon is not alone in being blessed by this place. Sturm volunteers to take the first wash despite exhaustion and the certainty that they will be safe here. Yet the peace of the place begins to make him fall asleep. Disgusted at this dishonorable failing, he intends to punish himself by going on a full patrol during his watch. But like with Gold Moon, he has a vision of his mother, who calms him and allows him to drift off to sleep without a worry. After what the gods have put the group through, and of what they are asking them to begin, this is an act of small mercy. For this time, in this place, you are being watched over. You are as secure as if you were still a babe in Mama's arms. The first assurance that they are not alone in all of this. The next morning, however rested, they prepare with the knowledge that they will need to kill today, may lose one of their own even, or die themselves. And no matter what, they will again need to face a dragon. Each prepares for this in their own way, and this time when Stern makes a snide comment about Raistlin, Karaman leaps so vehemently to his defense that Sturm is compelled to apologize for his behavior. Despite this, it is clear that there is still something hidden in this altered relationship of theirs. Something has changed in some way between them, especially when Tanis notes that Raistlin's remark about appreciating his brother seems like it might be hiding some sarcasm. Whatever might be there, though, Raistlin proves invaluable on this expedition. First, because he is familiar with the temple from the old stories, and so can provide some guidance on their journey. And second, because on their journey they encounter some denizens that are not evil, and he is able to charm the lot of them. During the story, Flint has made disparaging remarks about a particular kind of dwarf called a gully dwarf, a seemingly strange thing for a dwarf to use as an insult. But there are a couple of reasons for this. First, because we very quickly learn that gully dwarfs are shockingly stupid. So it's no wonder that other dwarves, who are known for cleverness in several areas after all, would resent an entire society of idiots. And in particular, during their time apart, Flint was captured and kept as a captive by gully dwarves for 3 whole years, which is both frustrating and embarrassing. Fortunately, the simple-minded gully dwarfs are so bemused by Raistlin's parlor tricks with simple conjuration spells and such, that he's eventually able to cast an enchantment on them so that they adore him and will cooperate. The smartest of the lot here, Boo-Poo, takes lead and answers questions about guards and the like, though her limited intelligence is an obstacle. It's hard to know the number of guards if the person speaking doesn't know any numbers higher than 2. Still, they at least have some kind of an opportunity now, and they're going to see the leader of these gully dwarfs, the High Bulb, which we'll find out in our final look at Book 1 of Dragons of Autumn Twilight.